Undisputted. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, I sure hope your newly loaded Lakers are as great as you think they're going to be this year, so you have something to combat the rise of my Dallas Cowboys. You're going to be haunted by my Cowboys all through the fall. I just hope the Lakers are decent.
I'm just worried about your Clippers.
Really?
And how Russ didn't want to go there. Are we going to talk about that?
Are we going to talk about that? Because he actually did want to go
No, he did. No, he
yes,
did.
he did.
No, he did.
Well, it must be important that we hit the Lakers because that is how we begin the show today, because Shannon's Lakers held their media day yesterday and fans are already going crazy about this photo shoot that shows the stacked talent their roster has. Former MVP Russell Westbrook spoke with the media about his decision to join the Lakers, saying that as soon as he worked out with LeBron this summer, he knew, quote, it was going to work. How about that picture, Shannon? Will this work?
Skip, how you like? Do you see how LeBron had that thing posed like?
You know, I'm glad you brought him up because Pelinka said he's slimmed up and he looks a little heavy.
No, he don't. No, see, there you go.
I don't know.
There you go. Hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just truth-telling.
I do believe it'll work, Skip, and I believe LeBron and Russ have gone out of their way to make sure that it does work, Skip. When LeBron spoke about how we've been attached at the hip, basically since the trade has gone through.
He and Russ.
He and Russ. And Skip, that's what you want to do. You want to find out what the guy's like. You let him find out what you're like. Get to know each other's family. You go to the gym, where you like the ball. This is where I like the ball. How you see the game. How I see the game. And they did a great job of that. They went out to Vegas, had a couple of practice sessions early before they kick it off today. And so I believe it's going to work. I believe these guys are going to do everything they possibly can to make sure that it works. Is it an ideal pairing? No, Skip, it's not ideal. But when two people want something to work equally as bad, there's nothing that they can't do if they want it to work. And I believe they want it to work. I believe that it will work. And I believe this is what I'm willing to do for you right here today. And you heard it first. It is September 29th.
No. Is it 29th?
It is 29th.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's 29th at 6:33 and 30 seconds.
Well, that's early.
If the L.A. Lakers stay healthy, we're going to be last team standing.
Done deal. You give yourself a little escape hatch there if they stay healthy.
If we stay healthy, we unbeatable.
Are you picking them right here, right now?
What part about that didn't you get?
Well, you've been picking the Nets all offseason.
Oh, well, I ain't picking them no more.
Really? So you got caught up in that pose that you just saw. It was impressive. Yep.
That's that school picture in third grade.
So I must admit to you, when I saw the actual video of them posing for their still shots, it was highly impressive because it was a collection of 6 future Hall of Famers.
Yep.
And it actually, I'm not going to say it gave me chill bumps, but it was a cool shot. And I sat back and I thought about it. And then I thought about my man Shannon Sharpe, who actually didn't play in the NBA. He played in the National Football League. And he's actually in a Hall of Fame called the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio. And I started thinking about these 6 future Hall of Famers in that pose. And I started to think, you know what? If they played Shannon's sport, if they were in the National Football League, I'm not sure we'd be talking about 6 future Hall of Famers because your Hall of Fame is much more difficult to get into than their Hall of Fame. Am I right about that?
I would think so, but they probably think theirs.
Okay.
Well, our Hall of Fame, Skip, doesn't take into account what you did in college, if you played overseas, the Olympics, what you did in the NFL. That's the only thing that matters.
That is true. So my point is, like, for you were a great player, but it took you how many tries to get in? It took you 3 tries. We've gone on and on about other people we've had on the show.
T.O.
What was it? T.O. was 3, right?
Yeah, T.O. was 3, yes.
Chris Carter
was like 6 or 7.
God. Okay, so you have to pay a price.
Yes.
You have to pay your dues. Well, in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, it just seems like just about anybody who has any credibility as a long-term NBA player, they're just going to get automatically rubber stamped into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So now I start to look at the careers of these this collection of players, let's just quickly take them one at a time. Would they make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Let's look at Carmelo. Well, now he's 37 years of age. This is his 19th season.
Right.
Wow. He's going to turn 38 during the season, obviously. And he did win one scoring championship in 2013, but he didn't make any all-defensive teams, obviously.
No.
He was just a 10-time All-Star. So he was a scoring machine at his greatest, but lately he's tailed off. Now he's just become a role player. So Carmelo's record in the playoffs is 28-55. He's 3-13 in playoff series, and he's 2-11 in the first round of playoff series. So that means 2-11. So 9 times he's lost in
first round?
more than he's won. Okay, so 2-11 in the first round. Got to one conference finals. It was way back in 2008, and they lost to the Lakers in 6. Okay, so that resume, if I put it in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's highly debatable, and he's not going to be a first ballot.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, it's all dependent on the position that he plays. If you base it on quarterback with those numbers, he's probably not going to get in. But if you look at some of the other positions, you're a 10-time Pro Bowl player, or you're a 4-time first-team All-Pro. Well, now, if you're not a quarterback, those numbers are going to be good enough to get you into the Hall of Fame. We've seen the offensive linemen, defensive linemen, DBs, wide receivers, and things of that nature. Basically, Skip, you can make it the case that's a Calvin Johnson career. Calvin Johnson never won the Super Bowl. He probably has his win-loss playoff record is not very good, but we know what he was.
I'm not sure Carmelo was ever Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, as Megatron, transcended pro football where nobody could stop him, right?
Carmelo was an offensive scoring machine. Now, I'm not saying, Skip.
One scoring championship.
One scoring championship. But, Skip, you look at his career average.
Maybe. Okay, let's go quickly to Dwight. He is now 35.
Yeah, he's first ballot.
36.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's an 8-time All-Star, but obviously he's a 5-time rebound champ, 2-time blocks champ, and 3 times Defensive Player of the Year.
It's overdone.
Okay, you think that's just it?
That's J.J. Watt.
Okay, Dwight is 63-62 in the playoffs, and 1-1, obviously, in the finals. And the one ring that he did win, he played a grand total of 12 minutes a game for the bubble Lakers. 12 minutes a game and averaged 3 points and 3 rebounds as a role player, a backup center, right? Okay, so the one finals he did win, he definitely had a role that he played, and it was a contributing role. I thought it was a significant role, but he was not a high minutes starter. Fair enough?
Oh, yeah, you talking about, no. I thought you was talking about in Orlando. No, the team was built around him. Okay, yeah, the one day he won. Right.
Yes,
no. He wasn't a central figure.
Okay, so then we look at what's happened to Dwight Howard. Well, do you realize that since 2016, he's been on 7 different teams? Is that a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, seriously. If he were in your league when they have that session on Saturday where all the media people kick it around, this would be kicked around.
Yeah, it would, Skip. It's not going to be like Peyton Manning, where the guy stands up and says, okay, Peyton Manning, you stand up and sit down. Tom Brady, they're like, okay, it's Tom Brady, you pass it through. But, Skip, when you look at what he's done, his resume, his defensive resume, he was the preeminent big man of his generation.
Since 2016, he goes Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, Lakers, then to Philly, back to the Lakers. It's not pretty what happened to Dwight down the stretch of his career.
His first decade made him a first ballot Hall of Famer with those 3 Defensive Player of the Year, the All-NBAs, the All-NBA selection, the All-Defensive selections. That made him in with the All-Stars. So he was done right there.
Okay. Brings me to Rondo. Love Rondo. It felt like he was hitting the wall last year for the Clippers. I believe they decided that he's just getting old, like he's not that guy anymore, so you can't play him. You can't consider him to be a starter for your team. So we look at him at 35, going on 36 during the season, but he's a 4-time All-Star, which is pretty good. 3-time assist champ, pretty good. Obviously, one time well, let's do 4-time All-Defense. Okay, so that's pretty good, right? And he won the 2 championships. Okay, so is that a slam dunk Hall of Famer?
No, it's not a slam dunk. I don't know if he gets in on the first ballot, Skip, but you win 2 championships on 2 different teams. He was he was a factor in both of those championships. You mentioned the 4 assist titles. And Skip, when he was with the Celtics, Skip, he was they say a big 3, but it was a big 4 because it wasn't like he was a role player, he was a backup. He was a heavy contributor.
Okay. He has been now with 8 different franchises. Is that a Hall of Fame player? Why would he bounce around that much if he's a slam dunk Hall of Famer? Right?
Well, Skip, I think the thing is, I mean, late in your career, Skip, they move now, and I don't want people to say I'm saying, but Shaq was on 8 teams. Look at Shaq later in his career. He was at Phoenix, he was at Boston, he was at Cleveland, he was at Miami.
Yep. Okay.
So it happens as guys start to get older, Skip. And the thing is that when you're a great player,
yep,
and people only see you as great, and it's hard for you to remember, but it's hard for people to remember because they see Rondo at Atlanta, they see him at the Clippers, and they saw him at. But Skip, you got to look at what he did when he was at Boston.
Okay, I got it. So now I want to remind all those Laker fanatics out there, starting with the guy across from me, that